How's everybody doing? Erin here. I'll wait to let some people jump on. But we have a really interesting demonstration for you today. We are introducing a new, well, I don't know if it's really new. We're going to learn all about it. It's called gua sha. So we'll figure that out. But Women Crush Wednesday coming at you. Hi guys. Hi everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Not rocking the makeup today because we're going to do a demonstration with our face. So for those of you that are curious about what gua sha is, it's like everybody's talking about it. I have an expert on. Her name is Kimber. She is jumping on. Let's see if I can get her on. Awesome. And it helps with the lymphatic system. And thank you so much. I don't need makeup. Well, that's a dicey conversation for another day. But there we go. We got her on. Kimber!
Yay!
Hi, beauty. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am so excited to have you on to talk about this routine. Hi, Gwen. I mistakenly said it's a new thing, but I think it's an old thing. Just it's catching trend now.
Yes.
So first and foremost, before we get into demonstrating our gua sha, which I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I've got all my
right.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Internet's a little dicey. I don't know if it's mine or yours. But before we get into the demonstration, why don't we find out a little bit about you? We've had you on before, so I'm excited to have you back.
I'm happy.
But what do you do?
So I've been an esthetician for 7 years. I actually just got a new job, so I'm not an esthetician now for the past 2 months, which is crazy. But as far as aesthetics, I did aesthetics for 5 years, just strictly eyelashes. And then when COVID happened, I was like, you know what? I want to shift to skin because I've always loved skincare so much. And I was almost 40, so around that time that all my friends were starting Botox. And I just am someone that has super strong muscles in my face. So anytime I have tried Botox, it droops my eyebrows. And so I was like, what else is out there that can help with wrinkles? And that's when I found gua sha. I had all this time on my hands because my business was closed. And my husband's mom is full Japanese. And so I started looking at Japanese skincare and what they did because she's 70 and has the most beautiful skin. And gua sha was huge there, and it's been huge there for hundreds of years. And so I'm like, okay, they're very into oil cleansing, they're really into gua sha, I'm gonna try it out. So I started during COVID, and then I was so hooked within a month. And so then I started sharing it with my clients just to kind of see if anybody would be interested. And I was so surprised in the ways that it did so well. Everybody that has tried it is like, oh my gosh, my face feels more lifted, or I just feel better overall. Because it's not all about aesthetic, and I think that's what I've learned with gua sha. It's more about the way it makes you feel after, because we're moving lymphatic fluid that's could be just sitting in your face stagnant because you're not really massaging the face very often generally. But it's really, really, really good to get into that routine, not only to lift your face, but to depuff the face. So I've been doing it now for 2 years, and I don't think I'll ever stop because it just has given me this glow that other skincare things that have not. So I hope that all makes sense.
No, and your story is interesting because, I think women feel this intense pressure to always look a certain way and use all kinds of, non-holistic forms to try to achieve, the pressures that you see on TV or social media or all these influencers. And I think what I love so much about you is your true authenticity and transparency with your journey, deciding not to use Botox, and finding an ulterior method that might be more holistic and natural. Yeah. So I'm excited because is gua sha. So we have our little tool here, which by the way, check it out. SaintIrisWellness.com is where you can get these incredible items. I will link it here on our IG Live. But what is gua sha exactly? It is a Japanese method, and is it like help with the lymphatic system?
It's mainly for the lymphatic system. It was used mainly for medicinal purposes, definitely not for aesthetics at first. And it could be used all over the body because we have a lymphatic system over our whole entire body. So before I got into it myself, but before I incorporated it into my business, I actually met with a holistic doctor who like specialized in lymphatic drainage. And I'm like, what is a lymphatic system? I'm talking about it all the time, but what does it actually mean? It's like, it's like the garbage disposal for your body. And so we have like different lymph nodes in our bodies, and a lot of times they'll become stagnant. And so you can get like, inflammation or swollen glands. And if you're not properly moving that, then it's just not healthy for your body overall. And so the interesting thing about it, you just don't have to press super hard because you're just moving fluid. And I try to remind people that like, we're not like moving muscle, we're not lifting muscle. It's all about just like moving fluid and getting like fluid out of the face that could be potentially just from either stagnant flow or bad sleep, bad food, those kind of things can also like add to that. And so it's not an aesthetic per se. Like I don't think gua sha was meant to be just to lift the face, but it does have that benefit, which I love. And I feel like when I share it with people, I'm like, here's the difference though. Like if you get Botox, that's freezing the muscle, and the muscle is just going to stay frozen for however long, 3 to 6 months. And when you're doing this, you're moving the muscle and like incorporating almost like a workout routine for the muscles in your face, which in turn, the muscles in your face are going to stay more lifted. I think you'll still be able to use facial, movements, but I think they'll stay more lifted because you're almost like exercising your face. Whereas like Botox, you're freezing the muscle, that muscle staying stagnant for 3 to 6 months. And then that muscle is just like, it's been atrophied. So like in turn, I think if we just keep doing the alternative, we're not like working the face out at all. We're just paralyzing it. And if you think of someone who hasn't used their muscle tone at all, for years and years, it starts to sag a little bit more. And so that's what I try to teach my clients. I'm like, look, you'll still have movement in your face because you'll be able to use your emotions and stuff in your face if you are doing this. But what I've realized is I feel like my face feels more lifted overall when it's resting or when I'm taking pictures, but I can still use my expressions, which I feel like, especially for my kids, that was like a very important thing for me. And I'm like, I don't want to look scary to my kids because I'm trying so hard to like make my face look perfect. I want to feel like approachable to my family. So that was a big thing for me, is just who am I influencing when I am thinking about my skin? And at the end of the day, I have 4 kids and 2 daughters. And I'm like, I want them to feel like comfortable in their skin, and like they see me doing this, and I let them incorporate this into their routines already. So I love it so much. It's just a fun thing. Yeah.
I mean, go figure, Americans figure out a way to turn it into a beauty method, which by the way, I'm not ashamed of, because I'd rather incorporate Eastern medicine and a more natural way to achieve things than, like you said. I mean, think of a guy or a girl whose arm is in a sling after 3 months. That arm, I mean, we're equating this to Botox, that arm that's been, like you said, still for 3 months, 6 months, it's not coming out of that sling more defined, more youthful. It needs now to exercise in order to get and achieve that, whatever, youthfulness or whatever. Yeah. So, and it's funny too, because like, let's say, we're watching a football game and we've had a couple of beers or whatever y'all like to drink at home. For me, I'm into the spicy margaritas or even red wine. And the next day I'm like, not looking so cute. Yeah. So the swelling, I think that happens, whether it's like under our eyes or in our cheeks, is an issue, because I'm sure the inflammation is, the lymph nodes are full. I don't know what the term is.
And alcohol is super dehydrating, which a lot of times you're like, oh, why is my face swollen if it's dehydrated? But a lot of times your body will hold more water when it's dehydrated. And a lot of times I do feel like alcohol like hides in the eyeballs. Like it just kind of hangs here for the day after, for whatever reason.
And you look all, the people have the red face and they're swollen and they're just, it's not a good look. Yeah. So try gua sha. And look, honestly, for men, because I'm sure there's men tuning in and maybe they're
Yeah.
like, what the heck is this gua sha bull stuff?
Yeah.
To me, it's not just for women. And by the way, check it out for your girlfriends or your wives, because it really is the thing people are doing. I mean, look at Kimber. But also for yourself. Like men need to take care of themselves too. And I think a well manicured man that like cares about dry brushing or stretching or drinking water or hydrating, like that's a good thing, guys.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
good
attractive. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we're about it.
Yeah. So okay, so I did not put on any makeup. I have eyebrows. I just put on my eyebrows.
I'm working from home, so I was like, well, we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. Whatever.
And I'll just wash my face when I'm done.
Awesome. Okay.
So I did want to start, the guy that I had mentioned that was the holistic doctor that shared all about the lymphatic system. He said the best way to warm up your lymphatic system is this. See these bones like right here in your neck? Can you feel those? Yeah. So your lymphatic system is right here. And he's like, even just start massaging those to get your lymphatic system warmed up before you start anything. And if anything, it just feels good. So normally I'll like start in that area and just kind of warm it up. He was very interesting. Like I learned so many things about the body that I was like, wait, what? Like that makes so much sense now. So I'll normally start there just to kind of warm that up and make sure. Can you guys see me okay? My screen is shattered on my phone. I dropped my phone and it like completely shattered, and I'm surprised it's working, and my new one gets here in like 20 minutes, of course. So then what I'll do after I like kind of warm this area up, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'll add a little bit of oil, and it doesn't matter. I use this as my cleansing oil. This is the Best Skin Ever by Living Libations. I'm like obsessed with it, and I've tried other oil cleansers, and just my skin particularly loves this stuff. So I'll use this as my oil for gua sha, and then I also use it as my cleanser. So I'll do like 2 or 3 pumps and kind of warm it up in my hands and start in my neck area. Sometimes I'll do my chest. I'm obviously not wearing.
Ooh, it smells so good.
It smells so good, and it doesn't. I was really afraid it would clog my pores because I started oil cleansing around the same time I found that. I'll get like into this area of the lymph nodes and kind of just really warm that up at the beginning. And as someone with like really bad allergies, I feel like this is like a game changer in the morning if I start my mornings doing this. Okay.
Wow.
So that's kind of,
it smells so, it's like lavender or something, just really healing.
It's got all kinds of like yummy, and they have scented ones, but I really love, their unscented. I mean, I don't know what scents are in it, but this is my favorite by far. So then I'll take my gua sha, and so I'll show you guys it's shaped kind of like this. And I like this longer part to work my neck area. So I'll kind of, you need to hold it. My phone looks like it's gonna fall out of this holder. Hopefully it doesn't. So you need to hold it kind of like this, flush with the skin. So not like this. I see this all the time on Instagram or TikTok where people are just kind of like dragging it down. You wanna hold your skin taut while you're dragging the tool down so you're not pulling the skin, if that makes sense.
I see.
So always start in this area, like on the side of the neck. So I'll do like 10 times down. And Erin, we can speed it up. I don't have to do like the whole routine if there's a time restriction. So I'll do 10 times on that side and like 10 times on this side. And honestly, this new job I have, I'm in front of a computer. I literally have my gua sha just by my computer doing my neck probably 3 or 4 times a day now.
And this is helping drain the
is draining at the lymph nodes. So this is also the area that will drain at the very end. So you'll like, I start here and then I always end here because you don't want to push everything in your face and just have it sitting here where you've got lymph nodes that start at the back of your ear. And this is where you want to drain it down because this is like the garbage disposal. So I always think of it like that. Okay, I'm like bringing everything back down to this garbage disposal, if that makes sense.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so we've done that part. And I think the biggest thing I didn't want people to do, because I see this all the time, is a lot of just rapid movement, not holding the skin taut, not making sure you've got like that 90-degree angle. So you're protecting the skin while moving fluid. And again, we don't have to be like crazy,
Okay.
like crazy pressure. Like I'll use it on my chest with way more pressure. I explanted my breast implants last September, and I use this a ton to not get scar tissue. I tend to get keloid scars, and it really helped with my scars. So that I was a little bit more aggressive, but with the face, you always want to be gentle. There's no reason to like go crazy and you know, use aggravation on the face. So then I'm going to add a little bit more oil just to my whole face. And I'm just gonna and I even like, I think it's even good if someone doesn't have a gua sha. I'm telling you right now, even if you just started doing facial massage, I think that even that in of itself is going to make such a difference. So I'll just make sure to get in pretty good. It doesn't need to be super thick. It just needs to be damp enough so you can move your tool. So sometimes I'll do my gua sha sessions a little bit longer. I'll always add oil if I feel like my tool isn't slipping correctly. Okay, can you guys see me okay? So now I'm going to show you the tool. It's a little fuzzy, but. Okay, well, probably because my screen is completely cracked. Let's see. Is that better? Probably.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the tool again. And so I like this smaller part. It's the bottom of the gua sha for like my chin area. And so I'll kind of hold this area. It curves into the chin. And then I'll make sure to kind of move it like this to make sure all of that fluid circle. And then if I want, even though I'm doing this at the end, I'll go all the way down the neck every time through because that just feels good. You don't have to do that, but I feel like sometimes it just makes it feel like I almost can feel the fluid moving, if that makes sense. So again,
well, and listen, Kimber, you know, for those tuning in or checking it out, I feel like a lot of people want a defined chin.
Yes.
So this is probably helpful.
Well, and I think so often we're all looking down, all of us. You know, everybody has a job now where they're looking down. So even just like working the back of the neck, which I do this a lot, where you're kind of making sure that this muscle right here isn't tight. And really like catching yourself if you're looking down, like, okay, I need to like roll my shoulders back and then make sure that I'm remembering to look up. And I feel like massage and gua sha.
So this side like this. Yeah, I feel the crunch. Yeah. Oh yeah, my friend Jim. Jim, thanks for tuning in. Oh, yes. Okay. Ah, don't get me started. You guys are so welcome. Like, I don't even know when someone's done a gua sha demo, but this is what all my friends are using. Everybody I know is doing this. And I live in LA. So, you know.
So I think this.
Oh, your internet is not doing so great. Your internet is slow or something is happening. Okay, I'm gonna still keep doing this. Hopefully we can get you back on. But this is the little teethy side for people that are still tuning in. Okay, are you back on? Okay, uh-oh. Maybe having some connection issues. Can't really, oh, there we go. Okay, I think now we're back, hopefully. I'm still doing this method. So, and then I go up here with the toothy side with my gua sha tool here.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can hear you, but okay, now I can see you. Yeah. Okay. But now I can't see you. Or well, you're frozen. So we're going to hopefully get Kimber back. But anyways, this is called the gua sha method. Everybody I know is using this technique, putting it on their jawline, their chin right here for definition. But really, it's a Japanese method. I think what Kimber was saying. Hopefully, we can try to get her back on. Yeah, we lost her. No big deal. She'll try to jump on, and if she can't, I think you guys basically have the idea here. Kimber is an esthetician based. Yeah, there we go. She's gonna try to jump on right now. Let's see if we can get her back on. Cleansing oil, gua sha tool, and what I was doing here was the teethy side, putting it right here. Okay, now we got you. We got you back.
Goodness. Okay. Okay, so on the side of the face, the biggest thing I see on the internet where I'm like, oh my goodness, is people are just doing this, not holding your skin. So you really want to make sure you're holding your skin and protecting it. And again, we're just moving fluids. So kind of taunt against the face. And for someone with allergies, I love to kind of go in just with that longer part and kind of work this area on the nasal line like that. And then I like pull it up here.
Are we still using this toothy side?
You can use it if you want. I like the smoother side. So that two side, I'll use the two side around my nasolabial fold here. I'll use it on my 11 lines here. And then sometimes like this on those horizontal lines. But for the most part, I feel like the biggest part I use most of the time is that larger curved edge on the gua sha tool.
Okay.
And a lot of times your face will get red, especially when you're first starting. Make sure you're not using too much pressure, but if it is getting red, that's actually a good sign of fluids moving. It shouldn't stay red after, but it might turn a little red at the beginning. So again, you're just going to take it here. So if you do have allergies, I recommend like kind of working it here and then pulling it. And then kind of just do this little wiggle at the end, because again, this is where the lymphatic system starts, and then we're going to drain it down the back of the neck.
Wow, this is so cool.
And I feel like for me, as someone with allergies, this is like everything, especially in the mornings.
Oh, and it feels so good. Like you said, for people that are at a computer all day, or even people using their phone. I find myself having sort of neck issues because I'm texting or emailing.
I've tried really, I mean, I don't do it all the time, but I try to bring my phone up here when I text now if I catch myself thinking, Kimber, why are we always doing this? Just every little bit counts because our poor necks.
I mean, not only that, even if people are reading a book, right?
Yeah.
You're not reading a book like this. I mean, you should, but for people that aren't bent down most of the time, this is very effective.
So again, this little curved area, I'm going to show you kind of where I work the eyeball. So that little curve, I'll kind of just put it in between my eyes right here at the top of my nose, and I'll just kind of massage that to start. And I have so much tension right here. Every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, that hurts. So good.
This is sensitive for me.
Yeah. So kind of, you don't have to be aggressive, but just kind of warm that up. And then what I'll do is kind of start at that brow base with that same little curve and just go over the brow line and then bring it up here. And I'm going to tell you, I have brows that, like, this brow seems to droop more than this one. I don't know why. I feel like this helps so much in the morning. If I wake up and my eyebrows droopy, I'm like, I'll do this a few times and I'm like, oh, my eyebrows match. So
Ooh,
there's something
so
to be
good.
said about just moving and opening that fluid in the face, especially in the morning.
And it feels so good because this is hitting the temple right here.
Yep.
So
It can help sometimes with migraines, because a lot of times people get migraines from just, sitting, I think a lot of times, and looking at the same thing, and just kind of reminding yourself to, like, massage these areas and get stuff flowing, I think is a game changer.
so then, okay, how often are you using it and for how long?
Yes. Okay, so I tend to use it 3 to 5 times a week. I have 4 kids, brand new job. We're at 3 days a week right now. But 20 minutes max, so nothing crazy. Kind of find the areas of your face and your body that you want to focus on the most. Like, mine generally is my brow area. Because like I said, I'll wake up in the mornings and I always look so tired. And so I feel like I always focus on my brows, this area, this nasolabial folds, and then my neck and my chin. I don't focus on my forehead as much. I did a ton at the beginning because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I don't have, wrinkles on my forehead. But now I feel like I tend to just find the areas that I have the most tension and work those areas in.
Love it. I love it. I feel like people can watch this and get, a nice sort of demonstration of incorporating gua sha, because you hear about it, but you don't really understand what it's doing. So for men and women alike, it's a great practice. Do you typically do it first thing in the morning?
I like doing it in the morning. As someone with allergies, I feel like I see the most difference. I'll do it at night sometimes if I've had a long day, but I love seeing that difference. I'll wake up in the morning super tired, work on my face for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh, it looks so much fun. I look so much more refreshed. And I think just learning to sit with yourself in that time and, like, appreciate your skin for what it is instead of sitting there going, oh, my skin has this and this, like, really starting to just have self-love and acceptance for that face that you're massaging and taking care of. So
yeah,
good.
Yeah, I mean, and people are always talking about creating definition, and like you said, the skin is essentially a muscle if you freeze it with Botox, and for those that incorporate Botox, no judgment, whatever works best for you. But I think the generation we're seeing prioritize a more holistic approach in getting results. So if you can do it.
Even if they do Botox, because the biggest thing about gua sha, it could potentially move Botox if you were to do gua sha at the very beginning of your Botox. So let's say you got it last week, I would wait at least a month. But then I feel like if people started doing, if you had Botox and then waited that month and then just started to incorporate even facial massage a little bit, I guarantee you they could go further from their appointments, because you're getting that stuff moved and lifted along with, actually loving on the skin. I think there could be potentially a huge difference trying that.
Couple of things. Do you recommend drinking water after gua sha?
Yes.
And then lastly, do you keep this on the skin?
I wash it off. So this is my oil cleanser as well. So I do my whole face and then I just add a little bit more. I'll rub it into my mascara and wash everything off.
Oh, okay. So don't sleep with the
you
oil.
You can. So this oil, essentially, if you added a little bit more water to the face, you can use it as a moisturizer. I just don't like it the way it feels.
Right.
So I don't tend to do that. I always just wash it off with water and try to use like a colder water, not super hot water. I was always someone that used super hot water until I realized it's just really bad for the skin. So as cold as you can get it, that's like comfortable for your skin, it's going to be better.
Amazing. I love you so much.
I just adore you,
Thank you for this
Thank
incredible demonstration. Get these cool tools, guys. Seriously, game changers at St. Iris Wellness. Kimber, we love you. We'll tag the link to our post when we post this. Okay. But I appreciate it because I think I think people want a more holistic approach to certain things, and knowing there's an option for those that might be scared to do things, or chemicals on your face, or getting Botox. Again, no judgment if you get Botox. I just think we're entering a place where we want to see if we can do it more natural or more Eastern.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, thank you for
Okay, thank you.
Good luck getting your phone today.
I know,
I'm so glad it worked out.
Sorry, the picture's not very good, but thank you so much for having me, Erin. I really appreciate it.
I love you, babe. We'll talk soon.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye, Kimber.